welcome everyone to this week's edition of the Focus TV. We're joined by Octavia Wyatt, Cardell Dudley Jr. We got Malik Miller here, Wilson Tarpe Jr. And again, this is season 8, episode 35 of the Focus TV. Get started as always with the Washington Mystics. Ray's not here this week to have a Mystic segment because he's at their current game. Over the weekend, the W enjoyed their All-Star break. For those of you that kept in touch with it, I think obviously one of the highlights was whatever the Stud Buds had going on. They were doing the most this weekend. Outside of that, it was a very important time for the W. I think we had talked maybe last show, we talked about where they were, how important it was with the CBA and everything going forward. So again, they had a good All-Star game. That said, we're on the other side of the break. For those of you who don't follow who aren't up to date with the Mystics outlook, like we are on a regular basis, Washington was in a good place heading into the break. Unfortunately, they lost their last game before the break, having lost to the Sparks and has snapped a 3-game win streak. They opened action post-break with the game against the Sparks. That got off to a hot start tonight, but as they get closer, as the first half starts to wind down a little bit, the game is close once again. Ray had a couple pregame conversations we're going to play in just a moment. One of them was with Kiki Iriafen before their win over the Aces a couple weeks ago, and that was one of the games played at George Mason, followed by a chat with Sonia Citron before tonight's game against the Sparks. So put that up for you guys, and then we're going to follow that up with Cardell breaking down the standouts at this year's at Peach Jam over the weekend. So again, right now we got Ray talking with Kiki Iriafen and Sonia. One second, folks. Can try this again. Full technical difficulties. Again, Ray had a chance to speak with both of Washington Stellar rookies before to the last game. Let's try this one more time.
Hey, this is Raymond Lyons with the Focus TV here with Kiki Iriafen. First things first, congrats on the All-Star nod.
Yeah, thank you so much.
How does it feel just to have this experience as a rookie?
It's crazy. My journey as a rookie has kind of been organized chaos, but I feel super blessed and honored that people recognize me to be an All-Star. Just super blessed.
What does it mean to you be able to share this experience with your teammates?
That's the most exciting part, is just doing this with Sonia. I'm more happy for her than I am for myself, but I think it's just the building block of what we're trying to do here with the Mystics.
And you've had a lot of success during your rookie season, which is difficult from the transition from college to the WNBA. And teams have had to take notice of that. How have you noticed that teams have started to guard you differently, and what adjustments have you made to continue to be productive?
Yeah, I'm definitely seeing a lot more double teams. So for me, I think I have to just be smarter and understanding when I can attack the doubles versus when I need to pass out. Not being rushed, not letting any defensive schemes take me out of my game. So definitely just a learning process. I'm still working through all of that, but I take it as a sign of respect and not something that I'm running away from.
And we are coming up on the All-Star break, which is pretty much midpoint of the season. You guys are in the playoff picture. What developments have you seen from the team, and what ways have you guys grown from the beginning of the season?
Oh my gosh, we've grown tremendously. I think early on in the season, we didn't have a shot at beating some of these teams. We were so close, but we weren't able to capitalize on the wins. And now at this point in the season, we've been able to beat the Aces, beat some really great teams. We beat Atlanta. So I think for us, it's just chemistry every single day. And then we're a very young team. So I think just the confidence that we have now is much greater than it was at the beginning of the season.
And speaking to the youth of the team, just like you guys do have a good mix. You're pretty young, but you have some vets as well, like Steph Dawson and Brittany Sykes. What was some of the best advice you've gotten from some of the older players?
Oh my gosh, they've been great. Stephanie's been great for me just playing in the post position, and she knows all these players that I'm going against, so she's giving me tips and tricks in that regard. And then for myself, telling me to slow down, to relax, to stay confident. And then Slim is someone who's always talking to me on the court, just working on pick and rolls. So I got blessed to have great vets on my team, and even the returners and Shakira and Aaliyah, they've been great in my development here as well. So definitely got blessed on the team that I got drafted to.
And yeah, you guys do have a lot of depth in the front court. What are those practice battles like?
Oh my gosh, it's fun. Like, it's not easy at all going against Kira, Leah, Steph every single day. Sika, Emily, it just makes me better, and I think that's why we've been able to have success so far.
All right, thanks a lot. Good luck tonight, Kiki.
Thank you.
All right, this is Raymond Lyons with Focus TV here with Sonia Citron, fresh off All-Star Weekend. How was the experience? Talk to me about it.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was crazy. It was hectic. It was everything I thought it would be. But yeah, just a really great experience.
All right, and you got to participate in the three-point contest. Looked like it was a little bit of nerves at first, but you kind of settled in. Ended up with a decent score. Just talk to me about the contest. How you feel going in, and how you think you did.
Yeah, I was really, really nervous. It was something I wasn't really thrilled to do just because of the nerves and being out there by yourself. But ultimately, I knew it was going to be a good experience, so I'm just proud of myself for doing it. I don't think I did great, but again, I'm just happy that I did it. It was fun. It was fun to be alongside the other contestants. But yeah, I don't think I did too well, but it was fun, so that's all that matters.
All right. And you already knew Kiki was going out there with you, but how did it feel when Slim got announced as well?
Yeah, it was awesome. I think everybody knows that Slim deserved it. We definitely did. So just to see her be able to come out and be an all-star like she should have been from the beginning, I was just really, really proud of her, really happy for her because she worked so hard. So,
you've been having a lot of success in your rookie year, which is tough, seeing that transition from college to the pros.
Mm-hmm.
What parts of your game do you think translated the best from college, and where did you find yourself making the most adjustments?
I think what works well is, I try to play both sides of the ball, so being able to defend and be an offensive threat, I think works. And then I think I'm just pretty good at moving without the ball, cutting and being efficient without the ball in my hands, so I think that works pretty well too. And then I think adjustment-wise, I think I've just had to adjust to the physicality and the speed of play.
All right, that was Kiki Iriefin and Sonia Citron of the Washington Mystics. We're going to transition over to Cardell. Peach Jam standouts. Who made your list?
Yeah, man, another Peach Jam in the books, man. Some intense competition throughout the week. Although area teams didn't, neither one, between Melo or, obviously Durant and Tego, neither one of them pulled it out as far as bringing home the championship with 17s. For the most part, they all had a great showing throughout the week, man. They all represented well, man. So that's always good, you know what I'm saying? And not just on the fella side, but on the lady side. But I'm going to get to that another time. But as always, there's always standouts that rose above the group. And that's saying something at Peach Jam when you pretty much got the collection of the best high school players in the country, all from around the country battling under one roof, man. But look, man, with that said, here's a few that I felt, shine the brightest throughout the week, man. First up is J.J. Andrews from Bradville Elite, 6'6", guard. Wing, he plays a little bit of forward as well. Obviously, in the 2026 class, he was a force, man. He was MVP of the championship game. He averaged 18.2 points, 5.9 rebounds, 2.1 assists, and 2 steals per game on 47% shooting from the field. He's a strong, very physical wing. He's you can look at his frame and tell he's going to be college ready by the time he graduates high school, but he already has the strength. You can already tell he's working on it with the way guys bounces off of him, with the way he defends, and he can get in front of guys and hold his base when they're trying to drive and they make contact. He's athletic as hell, but he also plays hard, man. He has a motor, and that just overwhelms opponents. He loves getting downhill. He's not as ferocious as like a Terrence Shannon, but he's pretty ferocious, man. When he gets downhill, he's hard to stop. He loves contact. He loves finishing through contact, and he's also good and very efficient at creating separation off the bounce. Look, then defensively, like I said, with his athleticism and his strength, he's a pest on that end, man. He has a lateral quickness, anticipation, allowing him to guard multiple positions, and he gets handsy. He has length, and he has active hands, and that generates turnovers. But the combination of his toughness, his two-way impact, and efficiency made him, honestly, the heart and soul of the Brad Beal Elite title run. And he's definitely a prospect that's you should keep an eye on, not just throughout the senior year, but as he gets ready for college, man. Because he's very, very talented. Just got to put it together in college. If he does that, it's not far-fetched to say he's going to be in the association down the line. Next up is a local kid, Anthony Brown Jr. from Team Durant, 6'2", 2026 class. If he's up there as one of the top scorers, that was at Peach Jam, man. He went all, man. He averaged 19.2 points, 2.2 rebounds, and 3.7 assists per game by shooting 37% from deep. The big game that he had was a 37-point game and a comeback win over Team Takeover. Look, he's just a dynamic scorer and scoring guard with great playmaking ability, man. He's quick, has a great first step. He can handle the rock. And most importantly, he's confident. He is not a shot he's scared to take. And it's not a defender he's scared to take it against. You know what I mean? So he's very confident in his game, man. And, he's deadly in isolations and he's deadly in pick and roll settings, man. So, defensively, you really got to know what you're doing when you're dealing with him. He plays his poise as well. He has solid vision as a passer. But like I said, with his athleticism, he knows how to use it effectively to create space or to finish in the lane, man. So, he came in a little bit under the radar. I'm not going to say totally under the radar, but after his performance all week, he definitely elevated his prospects moving into the senior year as one of the most skilled, composed guards of the class, man. Next up, Jason Crow Jr., get used to him. Get used to that name. Oakland Soldiers, 6'3", 2026 class, just committed to Missouri while at Peach Jam. He delivered. He was just delivering stand-up performance after stand-up performance at Peach Jam. Basically stamping his reputation as arguably the top guard in the country. He's skilled, he's fast, he has a great feel for the game, and he put it all on display, man. He averaged a Peach Jam high 26.5 points and 3.2 assists per game on 45, 34, 83 splits. Look, man, he plays like he's been there before. Like this stage don't really mean much to him. It's just a poise that big time players have, man. And most players, it takes them time to get as they move up through the levels, but he has it already. Look, he controlled the tempo. He broke down defenses with his handle. He scored on all three levels while also making timely reads as a facilitator. His quickness in the open floor and ability to change pace made him tough to defend and transition. And he showed some great strength and body control when finishing at the rim. His leadership and clutch play were key, in the Soldiers' run throughout the week. And obviously his all-around impact confirmed why he's seen by most as the most polished guard in the 2026 class. Next up, kid out of New York, Josiah Jervis, 6'5", 2026. Averaged 17 points, 4.9 rebounds, 2.5 assists per game. Big-time shot creator and shot maker. Athletic guard with great length, man. And he plays like he has something to prove, and that's evident. Like he don't back down to nothing, man. He's super, super competitive. He plays with a big chip on the shoulder. Very quick athlete, and he can knock it down with range, man. You know what I'm saying? But he's also crafty off the bounce, man. If you try to run him off the 3-point line and try to stay in front of him, you gotta be careful. He can handle the rock, and then he can shake you up if you're not ready, man. He had tough shots, contested shots over guys his size and bigger opponents, and he wasn't afraid of big moments, man. He took over late in the clutch. A lot of times, helped his team get through the week. But his burst off the dribble with his first step, ability to finish through contact, it easily made him one of the more one of the better guards in the EYBL that broke out, that really elevated their stock, so to speak, man. didn't really know who he was. I mean, you hear the name, but I really didn't know who he was till I really watched him up close throughout the week. And I'm like, yeah, the stuff that you kind of heard about him before, he definitely validated that, man. You know what I'm saying? So just another one, a long line of tough New York area guards, man. So I'm excited to see what he does throughout the senior year. Brandon McCoy Jr., Arizona Unity, 6'4", 2026 class. Also one of the top scorers at Peach Jam. He finished third in scoring, actually. Average 22 points and 6.4 rebounds per game. Look, his scoring package is ridiculous, man. He has range as well, explosive athlete, but he's smooth off the bounce, man. And he knows how to create any shot from any level. And one thing that surprised me was his mid-post game. Watching him, on the string, a lot of players his age don't really have that right away. They might go to the low block a little bit, but on the mid-post, that takes work. You got to have good footwork. You got to be efficient. And you got to know how to read the defense, because outside defenders are always in the way and always in position to try to stop you if you're not careful, and possibly trap you and get you in a position where you're going to turn the ball over. But he's pretty good in that area already, man. So, that was surprising. Look, he's just a gifted scorer, but he can also facilitate a little bit too, but he just didn't have to. I'll explain why later with his backcourt mate, who's also on my list. But look, man, with his size and skill, athleticism, and the confidence, honestly, at times it looked like he was unguardable. And then, me and kind of have the defensive mindset that's tough to see, tough to, kind of admit, but it did. They struggled. And that's why he was one of the top scorers throughout the week, man. So he's easily one of the more dangerous perimeter threats in this class. Next up is his backcourt mate, Miles Sadler. Actually seen him come play here prior when his team came to the DMV, played in the DMV live period. 5'11", point guard. And he's the reason why Brandon McCoy job was very easy to score the ball. And he didn't really need to worry about facilitating too much. All he could focus on was defending and getting buckets because of Sadler. Sadler was the engine behind Arizona Unity's Peach Jam run. He finished Peach Jam first in both assists and steals while putting together one of the most complete performances of any point guard at the event. He averaged 13.8 points, 6.6 assists. Again, that led the entire Peach Jam run, and 3 steals per game. Constantly dictating tempo and applying pressure on both ends. Look, he's small. That goes without saying. A lot of coaches don't really like 6 foot or below guards, but man, he makes up for it. He's smart, he's quick, he's tough, and he don't stop. So he makes up for it by being a pest on the defensive end. 94 feet. You gotta be careful with the ball when you're trying to dribble against him. You gotta be careful with the ball if he's even around you, and he's not guarding you, because he will go get it. He will go steal the ball from you. He has excellent court vision. He's very accurate with his passes, especially in transition or penetration. And, he's very active and anticipates well on defense, man. So he's very disruptive on that end, man. So he's a force on both ends and what he do. I just hope, obviously, he's going to go to he's going to have his choices of colleges. But I just hope that, the top tier programs don't sleep on him because of his size, man, because he's a winner player, man. And sometimes it ain't about the eye test. It's just about the results on the floor, man. And, watching him throughout the week, man, he definitely got it, especially a kid that's down the stands. I'm a little bit small, so I got to try to make up for that in other ways. And he does it on the defensive end. His two-way impact, it was invaluable for Arizona Unity's success. And he's underrated, but he's also one of the most impactful guards in the country. That was evident throughout his run at Peach Jam. Next up is another local kid, Caden Samuels, Team Takeover, 6'6". He was a consistent force for Team Takeover. He finished top 10 in both scoring and rebounding, which is rare for a wing. He averaged 20 points and 9.6 rebounds per game. Showcases versatility, his toughness, and athleticism on both ends of the floor. He's also a very physical wing. A lot of wings try to kill you with finesse. He can kill you both ways, finesse and being physical. He has a strong frame, and he has a motor, especially when he looks to rebound or when he has his mind set on getting a bucket. he doesn't he doesn't wilt. His determination is up there, man. So if defensively you're not willing to match that, it's gonna be a long night. He can defend. Look, he finished through contact at will, and he's capable of defending because of his physicality. He can defend 1 through 4 at the high school level. He's tough as a straight line driver. He can knock down shots from all 3 levels, improving his range. And he obviously can create his own shot at will, man. But again, his blend of size, energy, and production, and what he could do defensively with his versatility, made him one of the more impactful players at Peach Jam. And for me, I feel like he's the best scorer in the area, the best pure scorer in the area. Like he can easily get you 30, and in an efficient manner if you let him loose and just say we need that tonight. I've seen him do it too many times, so. He basically just took the show on the road to Peach Jam last week. Next up is his teammate, Jordan Smith Jr., who possibly may be the best player in the area. Team takeover, 6'3", 2026 guard. He delivered one of the most well-rounded performances at Peach Jam, man. He finished top 10. Again, he finished top 10 in scoring, assists, steals, and blocks as a 6'3" guard. Doing everything, just showing a complete game. He averaged 20.4 points, 7.4 rebounds, 4.2 assists, and 2.4 steals, along with 1.8 blocks per game on 58% shooting from the field. Man, he's just a winning player. I've seen this kid just develop from his freshman year where he was just a super athlete, just out there defending, looking for the turnover so he can go dunk, to now his game is so polished. He impacts the game. He impacts his game in so many areas where he's just so multidimensional. He just kills you. He's a one-man wrecking crew. What he could do, he's just a Swiss Army knife. At his size, normally you might see that from a 6'7", 6'8" guy. It's rare you see a player, 6'2", 6'3", just make an impact in every facet of the game like he does. And it's not just like, all right, numbers and RA impact in every facet of the game where he's pretty good. Nah, it's elite production in every facet of the game, man. That's just rare. Defensively, he's a disruptive force with his quick hands, timing, and ability to guard 1 through 3. He's super competitive, a leader. He produces at a high level, and he honestly probably was the most complete player at Peach Jam. It's hard to argue against him because no one else put up those numbers on both ends in every facet like he did, man. And if you saw the game where I believe Friday or Saturday, I forget, they needed a win to continue to qualify for the quarters. I believe it was Friday. Yeah, it was Friday. They needed a win to qualify for the quarters. Man, what he did, where he took over and brought them back to where they, won the game, and he had like 26 points and stuff like that. That was crazy. They unfortunately they weren't able to qualify. They needed to win, and they needed somebody else to lose. But the other team didn't lose, so they fell just short. But he put the team on his back and tried to keep him on going, man. And that's just what I said about him being a winning player and doing whatever it takes and being able to do whatever it takes, man. So, if it's a vote for top player in the area, he gets mine, just because of how well-rounded he is and how much impact he makes on every facet of the game, man, and how consistent he is, man. You just don't find players like that. Not at the high school level. It usually takes some time in college to become that, and he's already there. If he improves as a 3-point shooter to match it with everything he got, because he's a super athlete, he's always been that. But if he improves as a 3-point shooter to match everything else he has, sky's the limit, man. And last but not least is Tyron Stokes, Oakland Soldiers, 6'7", 2026, number 1 ranked player in the country. Proved that dominant presence at Peach Jam. He finished second in scoring, and he led the event in both rebounds and double-doubles, 3 double-doubles, which is obviously a testament to his blend of power, skill, and his high motor. The 6'7", 235-pound forward, he averaged 22.2 points, 10.4 rebounds, 3.2 assists per game on 51% shooting from the field and a ridiculous 42% shooting from deep. Look, man, he's just a man child. You know, at 6'7", you know, he is 6'7" with 235. That's an NBA size, but he already has that as a high schooler. So not too many high school players can be able to hold up against him, you know, individually, and he knows that, and he takes advantage of that. He also has a lot of skill and then natural ability and understanding the game, where he don't always just have to try to bully opponents. He can beat you in various ways, and that's why he's the number one player in the country. You know, look, with his grown man strength, how he bullies defenders in the paint. He cleans the glass on both ends. He thrives in transition with explosive dunks and finishes. He's improved his face-up game over the last year, and he definitely showcased that throughout the week. His passing vision has improved as well, and his defensive versatility. You know what I mean? Where you can guard 1 through honestly 5, depending on who they playing. He's that's what makes him so unique as a player. He was the most physically overwhelming player at Peach Jam, and you know, he again just reaffirmed who's the top player in the country, man. That's all it really was, man. So he left no doubt about that, you know, as Peach Jam concluded, man. So those are my picks for the top standouts from Peach Jam.
Yeah, man child's an understatement. He's just walking through kids for the hell of it in that clip. In high school, you know, used to seeing NBA players decel and bump somebody out the way, but it's because they're NBA players. 2 of those clips saw the decel, and he split the 2 defenders off the decel because he's just too damn big and strong. That was tough. And you said 6'7". He looked like he was bigger in the clips, but again, he's going against high school kids at times, and I get it. That was just a legit 6'7", 230.
Hey, man, I don't really trust height listings unless I get on the court and see them. I don't care if it's the NBA because, yeah, they exaggerate a lot, man. You know what I'm saying? So I let me size it up. But until I can get on the court and size the youngin' up, just roll with the listener. But regardless, he's just a beast. It is what it is.
Yeah, man child is definitely appropriate. All right. Summer League has concluded. We're going to just take some time, you know, and go through and just, I know so many players stood out. I know it's hard for me to put a list of 5 players together. You know, I'm cool with the 5 I have. However, I was very open to different options along those 5 because a lot of players did put in work in Summer League. It was definitely one of the better Summer Leagues I'm enjoying in the past few years. I like the way folks got after it, which was great coming off the postseason we just had with teams really getting after it. And I guess another one of the perks, I know you guys are sick of us hearing us mention the second apron, but this is another one of the things that helps come from it. Folks out here scrapping and fighting for jobs again. It's wonderful to watch. That said, here's the 5 people I had for my team. I had Wizards guard Trey Johnson, Terrence Shannon Jr. of the Wolves. We have Jordan Miller, Drew Timme, as expected, but he handled business. And I guess a differentiating factor for me, one of the biggest things was the people that were able to kill and still be efficient. And that's not to knock some of the rookies who did have, you know, did perform well, but I'm not going to knock a rookie because you came out here, you averaged 20 plus or whatever, but you shot 38%. Like, I'm not mad at you. It's your first NBA action. However, some of these guys came out in, you know, year 2, and they treated it like year 2. And after Drew Timme, hey, man, I will not leave Kyle Filipowski off that list. You know, Cardell, he's about the man child, about Youngin just now. Filipowski was on one this entire Summer League. I shall never return with a pair of shoes in my hand to touch that court. Signed, Kyle Filipowski.
All it was. That's all it was. No more Summer League for me.
Him, Terrence Shannon Jr., like, it hurt me. The 2 cats off the Suns. I was going back and forth about, you know, Dunn and
Malawat.
Oso.
Oso, yeah.
Because second year guys across Summer League came back this year like, yes, we want our minutes. Yes, we want rotation. And yes, we don't want to come here and compete in this event ever again. Malik, let you get your team, and then Cardell, who made your cut?
Absolutely. I also had Flip. He led the conference in points per game, and he was the MVP. He had to be on there. 29.7, 7.5 boards, 56% from the field. So yeah, he definitely said he's not lacing up any more boots playing with the summer league. As well, I had Drew Timmy. He averaged 25 points, 8 boards, and 3 assists in the 3 games he played in with Brooklyn. Terrence Shannon, just wanting to move from that summer league position to that guy with promise to being that guy that him and Rob Dillingham, they can be a great addition to Anthony Edwards. And Anthony Edwards and the rest of the Minnesota Timberwolves are honestly just waiting for them to take that next step. So Terrence, he averaged 22.7.6 boards, 5 assists. Being a big guard, big wing, that can definitely help Minnesota. As well, I have Reed Shepard, another guy that's looking to take a leap onto a team that has an established team, and he's that next piece that can either be traded for a few pieces that's very valuable, or that can be that push that can give those guys like Kevin Durant on a team like the Rockets, or if it's a team like Minnesota, that can give a guy like Anthony Edwards a breather. So Reed Shepard came in the in play, he averaged 28 points, 5 boards, 2 assists. And my last guy, excuse me if I butcher his name, Yuki. I don't even want to try to pronounce his last name, but plays for the Chicago Bulls. He just signed a 2-way deal. Why did he make my team? In the 5 games he played in, he averaged 10 points and 6 assists. He was just on the team last season, and in the 5 games he played in, he was able to not only sign with the Bulls, but being a 5'7", 5'8" guard, a smaller, composed guy in a Giants league, to be able to show that you can play defense, play both sides of the floor, and still pass the ball at a high efficient level. And to bring in, if you can't bring in 15 points, 17 points, and you can't defend everybody being 5'7", you can defend enough with 5+ assists every game. So congratulations to him signing a 2-way deal with the Chicago Bulls. Those are my 5.
No problem, Cardell. I think you remember last year. He was thinking with the Grizz last year
Yeah,
when the crowd was going nuts. But
yeah,
wait, Cardell.
yeah. Like everybody, Kyle Filipowski. I'm not gonna, just speak on that too much, man. Y'all spoke enough on him, and his dominance speaks for itself, along with his efficiency. 56% from the field, 39% from deep. Led the summer league, averaging 29.3 points. That just speaks for itself, man. No more summer league for him. Another one I'm gonna go with, Isaac Jones out of Sacramento Kings, 18.3 points, 6.7 rebounds. Just got done his second year. I feel like, this gonna be it for him, especially with the overhaul that they've had with their team. As you know, I say over the last few months, when De'Aaron started with De'Aaron getting traded, and Mike Brown being let go and all that. I feel like this will be the year where he finally get his shot, show what he could do in the league. Instead of kind of being back and forth. So his performance throughout summer league was a bright spot and an indication that he's ready to go. Konkonopu out of Charlotte, yeah. I think he was a championship game MVP. They went undefeated. He averaged 15.6 points, 4.8 rebounds, 3.8 assists, 1.2 steals to lead the Hornets. Keep in mind, he should be getting ready for his sophomore season at Duke, but he's advanced and he's already hitting the ground running with his production throughout summer league, and the fact that they went undefeated and won the championship. That was tough. Next up, Jordan Miller, local product, LA Clippers, averaged 22 points, 7.8 rebounds, and 2.6 assists. I've spoken about him before. I'm just hoping he get a chance. There's been some roster additions to the Clippers, man. So we're gonna see if he finally gets some consistent minutes, because when he has, he's produced well. It's just the fact that he's been behind some highly talented veterans, it's been hard for him to consistently be on the floor, man. But yeah, summer league is light work for him. We've seen him put in work in the league before, and obviously I'm gonna close things out with Terrence Shannon, Minnesota Timberwolves. 22.7 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, shot 38% from deep. Just one-man wrecking crew, especially in transition when he gets downhill. There's nothing you can do. Just got to pray he don't put you in the basket, man. So, those were my picks for my all-summer league team.
Yeah, and shout out to the Hornets. Got to start somewhere, get a summer league title. And yeah, they're youngsters. What was it? Khan, and I always mess up his last name, but Khan Knuckle, Lee McNeely, and company getting the chip. Very happy for those guys. Like you said, you got guys that should be entering their sophomore years out here in the summer league and being impactful. And for the Hornets, I'm sure they hope both of them get hit the rotation this year and help. Obviously, Charlotte's another one of those teams that they need to have that arrow pointing that way because they've been basement dwellers for a little bit and shouldn't be. All right, Cardell, where do you want to start? Take it or leave it a rapid fire. What you got for us this week?
Yeah, we're gonna go on rapid fire side of things. Obviously, one of my favorite football players to watch over the last decade or so, Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger, announced his retirement today on the eve of the team's first training camp practice. His announcement came as a surprise as he attended the team's veteran minicamp. Mathieu, 33, retires after 12 seasons in the NFL, 3 seasons in New Orleans. Quote, as I hang up my cleats, I feel with the gratitude as I close this chapter in my life and officially retire from the game that shaped me in every way. From my first snap in college to my final play in the NFL, this journey has been nothing short of a blessing. Football gave me purpose, discipline, and memories that will stay with me forever. But more than anything, it gave me a community. Mathieu was a third-round pick for the Cardinals, 2013. Spent the first 5 seasons of his career there before signing with the Houston Texans. He also played for the Kansas City Chiefs from 2019 to 2021. Was part of Kansas City's Super Bowl winning team. Mathieu was named the first team All-Pro 3 times and went to 3 Pro Bowls. He earned the nickname Honey Badger while playing at LSU. Was known for his ability to force turnovers. He had 7 forced fumbles, 8 fumble recoveries, 11 sacks, 36 interceptions in his NFL career. Saints general manager Mickey Loomis said Mathieu's decision to retire came about recently and that he didn't try to talk him out of it. Quote, he's a legendary Louisiana player, legendary NFL player. I really appreciate his time with us. He was fantastic. I don't have enough good things to say about him. I just wish him all the best. Octavia, we're going to start with you. Your thoughts on the impact on the Honey Badger, retired, not just in the NFL, college, among his retirement.
I will be the first to also say that it definitely surprised me. I don't think anybody really saw it coming because, like they stated, he was at minicamp earlier this year. So I'll first off by saying that it definitely surprised me. What won't surprise me is if he unretires. I don't know why somewhere down deep in my gut, I feel like he might end up unretiring. As we know, the Saints have a lot of new things going on down there. With the shocking news, of course, earlier this year with Derek Carr retiring. They have a new head coach. Maybe he's looking to parlay his way into something else. I mean, we know a lot of some of these good players will retire, and then possibly as time goes on, unretire. I'm not sure what his contract situation is. I know sometimes they'll still have the rights to him if he were to unretire, but neither here nor there. I mean, the nickname alone stands as it is. It's like anytime you hear Honey Badger, you know exactly who you're getting. You know exactly who that player is. Everything that their GM said about him is 100% true. He's definitely a legend down there, and he was one of the best, at his position. So it's kind of, again, like I said, it's very surprising to me when I saw the news earlier today. I was like, wow, I definitely didn't have that on my 2025 bingo card, especially with today being kind of the first day that most teams are reporting. We had some report over the weekend, and then we have a couple reporting tomorrow. It was definitely very shocking, but 12 seasons is an amazing career, especially in the NFL, especially getting out, knowing that, you've escaped any hopefully you've escaped any long-term injuries or anything that would have a detriment to your life going forward. So I'm happy for him if that's what he wants to do. With the type of person that he is and the type of passion that he has, like that's the only thing that kind of makes me think like maybe we'll see him again. But I'm sure that this won't be the last time we see him in some type of capacity within the NFL world. Like I could definitely see him doing what most of them do, starting these podcasts. Might end up on, a show somewhere. I wouldn't be that surprised, and the type of person that he is, but I'm holding out hope that it's not the last we've seen of him.
Lee.
Yeah, Tyrann Mathieu is indeed he's 32, so I was definitely in elementary school when he got into college football. From the top of his story, going to jail, getting kicked out of school, going back to LSU, them changing his number, still getting drafted 3rd round league. He's had an amazing story. I'm about to say hats off to him. He's an undersized DB, and he was still able to get it done. All pro honors, Super Bowl honors, all up and down. So um, there is some things going on in New Orleans. I'm not sure. I'm going to say to add on, there definitely are some things. I've seen some quarterback rumors about the position not really being as open and a lot of things under the sun. So either way, whether he comes back, whether he doesn't come back, 12 years in the NFL is definitely way longer than the average amount of time one does normally spend in the NFL. And he's just been a hats off type of guy all the way that I've been watching him. So he's he's definitely one of my heroes.
Yeah, Wilson, can you switch the highlights up, dog? You just gonna have this dude in the Chiefs uniform just killing my brother? It's a cold world, dog.
Hey man, you wonder what? I'm so sorry. Hey,
I don't know.
worst part, I put the highlights up and I've just been looking for more. I don't even know what was happening on the screen. For that, I do apologize. Let me find some good old LSU stuff. My bad. I didn't even think about it. You said Chiefs. I was like, oh my goodness, that's just horrible memories on repeat. I think that was like a season long. I like, yeah, that's me. So that's my fault. Yeah, that's tough. Just another reminder. I'm getting old. Honey badgers, hanging them up. Like I remember, like LSU had it crazy for a while there. The people that were wearing number 7 were like low key. Mo Claiborne might have been the worst one wearing number 7, and he wasn't bad. He was really good in college. But you had Pat P. You had Honey Badger. Like they had a string of demons.
Leonard Fournette wore the 7.
Demons.
Brian Thomas. Somebody say, yeah, that 7 up there is left for. You got to be that guy to wear that 7.
You just can't. But now, dude, he's amazing. Again, be that height. You know, I was happy we seen him kind of get through his whole career with the issues because for Honey Badger we got to watch. I will forever remember what we got robbed of for like Bob Sanders being similar size, but just physically couldn't hold up. Bob Sanders was about that life
yes, he was.
just as well. You know what I'm saying? But again, speaks to how tough it is. It's a super physical game, and you playing safety. You got to come from depth. And hey, man, we see what these running backs look like, and some of them didn't play in this NFL. They played in, it wasn't quite the NFL I grew up watching, but it wasn't this NFL. But now, shout out to him, hell of a career. I kept trying to find just like a little graphic with all of his accolades, but I don't think you can make a graphic that can put everything there. But this is a guy who's just been amazing at every level of football. Shout out to him, and a wonderful, wonderful storied career.
A special return man too in the return game, whether it be punt returns or kick returns, and he was very explosive in college. Flipped a lot of games, scored a lot of touchdowns on that third side of the ball as well.
Yeah, I guess for me, the two things that jump out, man, is the way he was a playmaker and his instincts on defense, man. You had to really, really be careful with him, and it wasn't just catching interceptions or whatnot. It's forcing fumbles, recovering fumbles, key tackles, wide receivers. It was just in the footage that you showed. Touchdown, coming down with the ball, last second, he just knocks the ball out of his hands and saves the whole touchdown. Like, though, he can disrupt your whole offense by himself, and not many NFL players on defense can do that. You know what I mean? And that's what made him special. And it's not just he did it on the NFL level; he did it at every level. Every level. Like, you had a game plan for him, and when you got a game plan for defenders, you're elite, man. Yeah, just a special talent, man. And one, I will hope a lot of young up-and-coming football players on the defensive end are trying to study and copy, man, because, he was a monster for sure. It ain't fun to watch. Then we're going to flip to the WNBA side, man. The rich get richer, man. Emma Meesman, 2019 WNBA Finals MVP, who has appeared in the league since 2022, has committed to joining the defending champion New York Liberty general manager Jonathan Cole said Tuesday, Meesman's arrival to New York will be the subject to the length of time it takes to go through the visa application process, Cole said. Quote, it's too early to say right now. We're going to try and do it as quickly as possible, Cole said. The 6'4" forward from Belgium has been a huge difference maker when she has played in the league. Two-time WNBA All-Star, averaged 12.4 points, 5.6 rebounds, and 3.8 assists per game for the Chicago Sky in 2022. Before that, she had played 7 seasons with the Washington Mystics, where we watched her help lead the Mystics to a championship in 2019, became the first reserve to win Finals MVP in the process in WNBA history. Meesman, who earlier this summer competed in Eurobasket with Belgium, also considered the Minnesota Lynx and Phoenix Mercury. Malik, your thoughts on Meesman joining the Liberty, the defending champs?
The rich get richer. It's really when it comes to the W, there's not a lot of teams, there's not a lot of spots, and people get picked up and dropped literally every day. I'm about to say definitely more than the NBA, definitely more, and a little bit less than other sports. The rich get richer. The Liberty are trying to make a run. They have some injuries that are coming back from after this All-Star break. They were dominant at the beginning of the season. I can see them being dominant coming off of this All-Star break.
Wilson.
Man. I think we were on the phone talking about something totally unrelated. And I was like, hey, Meesman, like before I get off the phone, let me let you know this. I'm a Meesman going to the Liberty. Look, man, put some of this stuff up here in the finals, man. They have 3 of the league's most annoying bigs to guard all on one team. And all of them can hurt you from every level of the floor. But that's just stupid what they have. It's an embarrassment of riches. So now, if you take Jonquel or Stewie off the floor, they get to be paired with this. They also got the luxury, in case just for you know what and giggles, to take both of them off the floor and put her and Phoebich next to each other if they so choose. Do you know what spacing is going to look like? Lord Almighty, there's going to be lineups with Phoebich, Meesman, Stewie, and Jonquel just because. Do y'all understand what just happened? You want to talk about like dummy proofing a way to defend the title? This is how you do it. You said the only player to win Finals MVP as a reserve. Mind you, what Elena Delle Donne did during that run was crazy. So keep that in mind. She knocked somebody who's off like a deity level run, kept her from getting that award. Again, that team had embarrassment of riches, but this is absurd, man. But you want to know what? What was it, Kurt, out there? We've had this conversation several times about the W going forward, coming after the CBA, about teams and how organizations are building themselves on each and every level and why it matters. This is why, y'all. Because there is no rush for her to get here. When she gets here, she still gets to be Emma Meesman. So it doesn't matter when she... Take your time, Emma. Just make sure you're here for the postseason. Cool.
I'll tell you.
So I literally heard this news right before the Mystics game started today. I turned the TV on. And then I flipped back and forth because I believe the Fever and the Liberty are also playing tonight. So I see, I think they were interviewing Natasha Howard, pregame and stuff like that. And then I heard the words, "Oh, and you guys just acquired Emma Meesman." And I literally went like this, like for real? And to know that also Jonquel Jones is coming back tonight after being out, with the ankle injury, knowing that they're coming off of Natasha Cloud and Sabrina Ionescu both winning, in All-Star Friday night with the 3-point contest and the skills challenge. Like, they are loaded. Like, I mean, we talked about how, even listening to the interview that Natasha was doing, and they were talking about Emma Meesman coming back. They were talking about Jonquel coming back. And she was like, and that's why I kept telling y'all, like, we all right. Pump the brakes. We good over here. And they're not lying, because the things I've seen Emma do is just crazy. I was sad when she left the Mystics. But I'm so excited to see her because, with her being out of the league for a while, playing overseas and everything like that, you don't get to see her play as much of so I'm excited to see her. I'm 100% knowing that it's going to be the Emma Meeseman that I've seen in the past, if not better at this point, and that's a little bit scary when it comes down to it. I'm not 100% sure where the Liberty are in the standings right now. I know the Lynx are doing well. I think Phoenix is doing well at the top, but the Liberty are always lurking, and this is all they really needed to kind of put, second gear. And we know we're in the second half of the season now, and a lot of teams are, they about to put their head down and go to work. And just being able to get Emma coming in, and then also, like you said, even with her having to clear overseas things and stuff like that, she's here in time for the playoffs. It's going to be a problem, So we talked about early on in the season when the Liberty and the Lynx were both undefeated that we thought that was probably going to be a crash course. And we know those two teams kind of came down a little bit more to the pack. I expected Liberty just to skyrocket right back up. I think it's going to help them that her and Tosh has history. So it's going to help in that aspect as far as their chemistry as well. But they're all consummate pros. So I'm expecting a lot from them in the second half of the season.
I mean, yeah, the talent speaks for itself, but also the depth in the front court. They're very big. They're very big. People. No one mentions that they got Isabel Harrison. She's 6'3". No one mentions that they got Talbot. She's 6'2". Sabali, she down there 6'5", and she's at the end of the like they're that dog. The only thing I'm worried about is chemistry, getting that together. With Jonquel coming back and being rushed, just getting the chemistry right back in that. Whenever Meesman gets over here, whenever they get the visa straight and she can get over here, just getting the chemistry right, so where everybody can identify their roles and know exactly what to do and be in sync. Because if they're not, teams still got a chance because they're going to be in sync, and they can take them out of different sets and stuff like that because they're busy. The Liberty are busy thinking about, okay, what should I do or what should I do, where should I go? Meanwhile, the other team are just flowing effortlessly because they already been doing it all season. That's the that's the deal, man. But I think she's also an insurance policy if somebody gets hurt. I think the Jonquel injury scared the hell out the franchise, like to be honest, because she was out so long. So I think that was more of that deal, and they realized when she went down, yeah, this ain't enough. The team started whooping up on them quickly. So that's all I really think it is, man. So I think it's perfect for her where she don't have to come in at this stage and try to carry the load and be a franchise. Like, look, I'm just coming in to fit in. I'm over here if you need me. That type of deal, man. But if they get the chemistry together and they clicking all cylinders and they're healthy, what Pat Bev always say, belt the ass, that's exactly what it's going to be.
Hey, man, I just 2 cents I want to throw in there, and this is why it's just really annoying for me. Overseas, some people don't follow who plays with who overseas.
Yeah.
Played with half the Liberty team on Fenerbahce.
We'll never
so
know.
Just to double down on your chemistry point, yeah.
And even the Olympic run that they had in Belgium and stuff like that, she could still get it done. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's just about getting just flowing, just getting the mix, getting to know everybody, and then, go from there, man. To me, it's their chip to lose if they get that under control, man. So we just got to see how it's going to play out. Going back to the NFL side of things, Michael Parsons has clapped back following Jerry Jones' pointed comments about him ahead of Cowboys training camp. After the Dallas owner cited injuries as the reason why the two sides haven't come to terms on the contract extension, Parsons, one of the best defensive players in football, continued to do his part and reported for duty at Cowboys training camp on practice today. Following the session, he spoke to reporters about his current contract situation and in the process took a pretty pointed shot at Jones. Quote, "There's not really much movement, man. I want to be here. I've always said I want to be here. But at the end of the day, they sign the checks like always. Let's see if they want me to be here. At any given time, they can get things done." He then answered when asked if attending practice is a tactic to hopefully speed the process up. Quote, "So I don't think that helps. I'm doing this for myself and my teammates. This isn't for Jerry. This isn't for Stephen Jones." Parsons has seen several of his defensive end counterparts sign massive deals this offseason with Max Crosby, Myles Garrett, and TJ Watts, or having been re-signed by the teams that drafted him. Dallas, three-time All-Pro, meanwhile, remains on his rookie deal. Quote, "When you go around the league and you see these other teams taking care of their best guys," Parsons said, you wish you had that same type of energy. Man, yeah, Wilson, your thoughts?
Hey, man, I was saying this when they was about to pay that wide receiver all that money, man. Choices have consequences. Wide receiver market was going crazy. And, God bless CD Lamb. I don't knock him or anything, but the fact that CD Lamb might be one of the reasons that you're here right now is crazy. You can't even blame Trevon Diggs because they got him for a steal. That was a hell of a deal they got him for. So how do you go from getting him for a deal? And he was coming off of, years with solid production. And then you give CD all that money and you're here. We just finished talking about the Bengals and the bad decisions they made. They paid both of their wide receivers. They don't have either defensive end right now. The one they drafted in the first round isn't there. The one who's at the top of the league production wise, Trey Hendrickson, is not there. Right? You out here with Micah Parsons without a deal, and you knew this was coming. Like, this is one of those things where just functioning teams or whatever, like Micah should have already been done. Honestly, I thought Micah should have been done closer to, after the Niners had when they fumbled the whole Nick Bosa process. That should have been a sign to Dallas. Like, if it took that long to get Nick, why don't, in my mind, I would have got Micah done early. So then by now, like right now, after what Miles and company just got, Nick's like the fifth highest paid. He's going to keep getting pushed down that list. This could have been where Dallas was with Micah. Instead, Mike is probably not going to take anything lower than what Miles got. Do you even have that available to you? So, just, play interesting games, win interesting prizes. Shout out to the Dallas front office.
Oh, man, I see the petty in Octavia's face. Eagle Octavia, what's your thoughts?
Oh, you know me so well. Because I was like, I hope it don't never get done. Send him to Siberia. I don't care. And take the microphone away from him at the same time. But anytime I hear these stories, I mean, the first thing I just be like, are you not entertained? Because this is literally for entertainment. This happens every year, it seems like. I'm never surprised at this point. I mean, Mikey even came out and stated that he was willing to get the deal done last year. And had they got the deal done last year, he'd have probably been in mid-30s, a little bit upper 30s. Now you're already in the 40s, with everybody that you just named that got re-signed. And now, and then you're talking about the Bengals who know that they don't have nothing. What if they happen to take their head out their butts and decide they want to sign Trey Hendrickson? So it's like, I don't understand what the motive of this is. I heard an interesting quote when they mentioned them today. They're like, the Cowboys are always a day late and $1 more. It's usually a day late and $1 short, but they're gonna have to pay $1 more because I don't understand what we're waiting for. Micah is like I think they said one of 3 defensive players that has had consistent 3 years straight of 12 sack seasons. Like what are we talking about at this point? I don't like him, but he can come play for us as long as, again, the podcast mics go away. But I mean, I don't understand, what's going to happen. But it just seems like it's a repeat of last year. I feel like deja vu. We'll get deep into the camp. They'll start talking about it. Y'all also have to remember that these teams are going to be on Hard Knocks during the season. So the NFC East is all going to be in the in-season Hard Knocks. So that's going to be hilarious when it comes down to it. So it's unfortunate that it seems like Jerry Jones is always more, and he's more into the press of it, the star, as you may, than actually signing and retaining your players, especially the ones that prove themselves. Like, there's nothing else that Micah Parsons needs to do. Yeah, he got hurt. It's a violent sport. People get hurt. You just talked about Trayvon Diggs. He got hurt. I know Jerry brought up the fact that he, made Dak the highest paid quarterback at the time. He got hurt. It's the name of the game. So if you know that there's an opportunity for them to get hurt, why are you going to guarantee them more money than paying them what they're worth now? And if they do get hurt, then at least you're not spending 40 when you could be spending 30. But to me, I'm not a billionaire. I'm not even that great at math, so maybe I'm wrong, but it just sounds crazy to me. But at the same time, it sounds very normal for the Dallas Cowboy franchise. And I mean, frankly, like I hope they keep doing stupid stuff at this point. Like, I don't really care.
To add on to your point, this business it changes by the day. The numbers go up, the prices go up. The price today will not be the price tomorrow. People need to understand that part, and then the part of where the ownership and the players. This is everybody's on the same team until it's contract negotiation year. Everybody's on the same team until it's a player gets caught too much bad in the news, or the team owners and the team owners they love the players week 8 through 12, 8 through 13 when it's playoff time. But when it comes to incentives, when it comes to Pro Bowls, when it comes to the dollar bills, that's where the eyes get confused, the conversations get shorter, and things like that. And this, honestly, Micah Parsons talking right now is not even about money. Honestly, I might say he has all the money in the world. It's really just about the love for the game. He's coming up, like he says, he's going to keep coming. He's going to keep showing up to practice, whether they pay him, whether they don't pay him, because at the same time, he's still under contract for this year. So that being said, he's going to play. He wants something to get done. He's publicly saying it. Like Octavia said, he wanted to get it done last year. You can see it in his face that he wants to get the deal done. But just the owners and the management being trying to strong arm players and strong arm the situation, because at the end of the day, they are the ones that sign the checks, like he said. So when it gets to this point, it really starts becoming a dirty game, and not so more so of people playing fair and unfair, but really understanding how much they care about you. Like he said, if he's there next year, it's because they want him to be there. They got to sign, minimum that it has to be a certain amount of zeros and a certain number in front of those zeros for him to be there. And if the respect's not there with that number, then it can't be. You can lose no respect for a guy that's earned it. 12 sacks in the last 3 years for 3 years straight. I mean, he deserves top of the list things.
On you, Wilson.
Oh, my bad. I thought you was gonna share your thoughts, Cardo, on it. But yeah, Jerry is Jerry, man. Gotta love him. God bless his heart.
That's
Always
why I
makes
did share my thoughts. That's my thoughts exactly. Jerry's Jerry. It's the same old.
It's just, it's just. Where's what? They're gonna mess around. This dude's gonna be on another team in the division in 2 years, and then they're gonna be whining about it.
You might want to come home. You never know.
Here you go. Just please stop. Just
Say
don't
it.
y'all have enough? Just
Exactly.
that's the type of greed they talk about in that book, and I'm gonna let you rock off. We think
They
y'all
on
so
the Liberty. They on the Liberty train.
Hey,
man. Just that's the type of greed, Octavia.
If they got it,
we
go
appreciate
spend it. Hey, the rich get richer.
this was just so simple. You had like 4 top of the market. I watched my team play. We got like 5 people in the Bay making top 3 at their position. You just pay them and playing. It's not hard. Like I don't understand this. Like matter of
It's
fact,
tough.
they almost had like 5 of them, and then one of them went to Washington because you can't have that many of them. I just don't understand this, man. Like you only had 3 of them. Zach Martin was already doing you a solid. He was near retirement. How did you find a way to misplace the money? But again, shout out to Dallas. We appreciate y'all. Mystics Outlook, folks. We'll see y'all a little bit later this evening. For everyone else, we will see y'all next week. Don't forget to get over to the Roku channel because there will be content uploaded there routinely this week because the next 2 weeks, I think Washington is kind of a pretty long homestand. We're going to flow right out of that. Like talking to Octavia before the start of tonight's show. We're going to get to cut day and week 1 of NFL preseason soon, all that good stuff.
yeah.
So we're trying to enjoy the rest of this little mini dead period before, the switch gets fully flipped and we'll be looking NBA training camp in the face with the W playoffs like right here as well. So y'all have a great evening, man, and we'll see y'all soon.